On to Harmony right now. Another congressman who voted against the Obama-Pelosi health scare plan was Congressman Gresham Barrett. Hey, Congressman.
Hey, Rock, and proud to do it, my friend. Good golly, a $1.6 trillion boondoggle government takeover of health care. Socialistic. I mean, the hits just keep on coming, my friend.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I just talked to Joe Wilson about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I asked him the same question, and I'm going to ask you. You know, the taxes take effect right away.
Exactly.
But within a couple of years, by the end of this year, I'm guessing a whole bunch of these Democrats are going to be replaced. They shot themselves in the foot. And guys like Baird, or whatever his name is, or Braid,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, out of Washington State. Oh, right. I've decided to vote for it. Oh, by the way, I'm retiring. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked like that. I mean, they know that that their constituents didn't want this. They know it's not a health care plan, but they voted for it anyway. So did they commit? Do you think that enough Democrats committed political suicide to change the tide by the end of the year?
Absolutely. I honestly do. I mean, it was amazing walking across to the House for the last couple of days, Rock, seeing the American people out there just unfortunately spitting mad in certain cases, because we had some situations about that. But, you know, the one sign I saw over and over and over again was, are you listening? And that's the frustration, Rock, because these people see the disconnect between Washington, D.C. and Main Street. They understand that these congressmen and congresswomen are not listening to what's going on in America. I mean, it's a $1.6 trillion spending spree. It's a $600 billion tax increase, not to mention the $52 billion of increased taxes on businesses and industry. It's going to cost jobs. It's going to be cutbacks. Caterpillar sent a letter to the Speaker of the House to say that their additional costs would probably be $100 billion per year.
Yeah.
It's wrong for America, it's wrong for South Carolina, and it sure as heck is wrong for freedom, my friend.
Now, do you think that this state can even afford this? I don't think that South Carolina, being a state with only about 4.5 million people in it, I don't think we can afford to have 1/3 of our people on some kind of a welfare, medical program where doctors are going to walk off on this. I mean, already Walgreens is walking off on this, aren't they not?
Well, I think it's going to put people out of business across the nation, not just small business people, but doctors too. You know, and to your point, some of the figures that I've seen, it would be roughly an over $1 billion unfunded federal mandate on the state of South Carolina in a time where we're cutting government left and right. I don't know where this money's going to come from, Rob.
Well, don't you know, Congressman Gresham? Donna, where's the money going to come from this? You know.
The magic money tree.
The magic money tree. It's right out the window here, apparently.
It is amazing because in a time when we need to be cutting taxes, when we need to spend the taxpayer dollars wisely, we are seeing the largest expansion of the federal government in history. And I think you can sum it up into one word, if you ask me, and it's called socialism.
Well, it is socialism. And, people say, well, they've had socialized medicine in Europe for all these years. It doesn't work that well. I should call that doctor from Canada, Donna. We have a doctor that moved in here from Canada, and he says, oh, no, God, no. But here it is. There was a lot of things that Europe did. There was a lot of European countries that supported Adolf Hitler, too. We're not doing that either.
Well, you're exactly right, Rock. I mean, we see other parts of the world, stepping toward freedom, and we're running toward socialism. We've got the facts and figures to show that it doesn't work in the European countries. Do we need reform in the United States, healthcare reform? Absolutely, but this is not what we need, my friend.
Well, it's not a health care plan. If it's a health care plan, why does it have the IRS in it? 10,000 new, how many? 16,000 new agents?
No, I think to be correct, I think it's 18,000 to make sure that people, and to fine an American requiring them to buy something. It's the first time in our history where we're requiring somebody, a United States citizen, to buy something. Now, let me say this. We lost this battle. But we have not lost this war yet, because I do believe that this bill is unconstitutional, and whether we fight it in the halls of Congress or whether we fight it in the halls of Columbia, South Carolina, we're going to use every means that we have to our advantage to fight this bill because there is a little amendment called the 10th Amendment, which is a states' rights amendment, and if that's the way we need to fight it, then so be it.
Well, Henry McMaster is ready to file a lawsuit. He's drawn one up. 37 other states are the same way, and it's not all southern states and western states. You know, you bunch of northeasterners. Hey, New Jersey's in on it. Montana's on it. North Dakota's in on it.
Absolutely, and I think it was Idaho, if I'm not mistaken, was the first one to actually pass it, and you know they're ready to take it to the federal court because it is an intrusion on states' rights. It is unconstitutional, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's no way the federal government can demand that I buy something I don't want.
That's right.
Now, this does not go along with helmet laws or, safety laws with cars and stuff like that because I'm not mandated to own a bicycle or a car. Okay? And besides, those are state laws anyway, are they not? Here's the thing. Yeah. I'd like to know, is there any other federal mandate anywhere in our history that demands that citizens of the United States in all the states buy something, if they don't want it?
If there is, Rock, it's the first, and it is amazing, because I see the arrogance. I see the arrogance of the Democrats in Washington, D.C. I mean, again, it gets back to the signs that I saw time and time and time again over the last 3 or 4 days. You're not listening, and the Congress of the United States is the people's house. And I can guarantee you the Democrat leadership in the United States Congress is not listening to the people.
Well, do you think we'll be able to turn this around? Because I think some changes are going to happen at the end of the next election cycle here, which is in half a year here. I mean, do you think we'll be able to turn this around and negate this before it costs us too much, or if any at all?
I do, Rock. I mean, I really do. And it goes back to what I said earlier. I mean, we lost this battle. But we have not lost this war, and I can tell you we, the Republicans, have never been more engaged. And it goes back to what I've said for the last 18 months. If we're going to turn this nation around, we're going to have to do it one state at a time because the answers, my friend, are not in Washington, D.C.
There you go. You want to talk to some of the huddling masses yearning to be free? Maybe they're flying that proud. Hey, what'd you think of all the Gadsden flags you saw out there, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, South Carolina rides again.
It's amazing. I tell you, you want to talk about getting energized. Walking in front of that crowd and tell them we're with you, we're going to fight this thing, and the people that would come out and want to touch you and just God bless you for fighting. I mean, there's a lot of people that are really engaged in America, and that's a good thing, my friend.
Here's Paul. Hey, Paul, talk to Congressman Gresham Barrett. Go ahead.
Hey, Congressman, how you doing today?
I'm great, Paul. Thanks for calling.
Good. You mentioned, first of all, the letter that Caterpillar sent to Congress and the $100 million a year cost. I read an article over the weekend that there would be a Medicare provision for families of 4 would be lowered to $29,000 a year. Do you see the potential out there for corporations to reclassify employee job descriptions and lower employee salaries down to, say, that $29,000 threshold so they no longer have to cover groups of employees under corporate insurance policies, so their employees would then be eligible for Medicare or Medicaid so that they no longer have to cover their employees under their corporate insurance policy?
Hang on, Paul. That 3-minute-long question comes down to this. Congressman, here it is, okay? Do you see like Caterpillar, corporations saying,